Hello, welcome to Burning Questions. Very early show this week. We're going on a Wednesday, which is very rare territory, but we've got a great group of people and smiling faces on my screen to talk through the big meeting at Melton on Saturday night, June 8th, a 10-race card, the first race to go at 5:11 p.m. One man that will be joining me, there's two men that will be joining me on the TrotsVision coverage, but we've got one debutant and one that hasn't done it for a while. We'll start with the debutant, Brett Carroll. Let's hope things pan out a bit better than they did last time we planned to do this, because Bendigo, I think the fires or the heat got us last time, didn't it?
It was a combination of both, I think, yeah. So I prefer to be on home soil, so to speak, Milton.
Yeah. What jacket do you got lined up for us?
I've got a couple. Nothing too glary, that's for sure.
Good stuff. Looking forward to it. Brett's going to give us some great insights here on Burning Questions. David Miles, I think Cody Winnell's already put the pressure on Milesy with the choice of headwear. Have you got anything lined up for the coverage on Saturday night with us?
Oh yeah, no, I did see that on Twitter. He's put a challenge out there, so yeah, I'll have to delve to the back of the cupboard and see what's something special. Anything to cover the bald spot, that'll do.
Looking forward to it. I think the last time we did a TrotsVision coverage, Milesy, was it Emerald Stride that got up and won for you?
Yeah, you stitched me up. You videoed me while my horse was racing. Yeah, thanks for that.
I did, but I'm a good omen, aren't I?
I hope so. Yeah, well, it'll be nice to get a winner this week. That'll be good.
And you can interview yourself. So David Miles will be driving race 2, then joining us on the RF camera. And the boys in the truck, as you said, they've got the dump button ready to go. We just can't fully trust you. And Jackie Barker joins us, a third and final guest. Jackie, you're all loaded up. By the time this hits the website and social media, this episode, I reckon you'll be halfway to Melton.
Yeah, well, hopefully. It's a bit of a drive, so got to leave early.
What is it, 3 hours for you, Hamilton to Melton?
Yep, 3 hours.
Oh, good luck tonight, and obviously Saturday night at Melton. Let's get stuck right into it. Pride's Easy Feed stand as a proud supporter of the harness racing industry with their set recipes and quality ingredients to give the trainer confidence in what they're feeding. So make the switch to Pride's and start getting the result you've been chasing. It's Advantage Curly with the draw, but do we take him one out in the first 4? Talking about Curly James, horse 1, race 1. The Tab have a $10,000 first 4 jackpot, projected pool of $50,000. We'll hold you to last here, Jackie. You're driving a So What for Diane Giles. Milesy, what do you think of this one here? I think Curly James deserves to be favourite, one to beat, but I thought he could have been a touch better last time out.
Yeah, he hasn't seen the front row for a long time. He's had several run of draws, and the horse 4 or 5 months ago would probably be $1.50 in this race, and if he gets back to his best, he's probably winning. And with the barrier draw, to be honest, I can only see one horse beating him, and he's a son of a gun from the draw sitting on his back. He loves a cold sit, that horse. So I think there's really only 2 winning chances. As well as Triple Eight is going, it's probably going to have to sit outside Curly James, and 3 or 4 months ago probably couldn't have beat him, but I would think that I think the 1 probably beats the 9 and multiple your 3rds and 4ths with a lot of the others, because there's a lot of chances it can run 3rd and 4th.
Okay, good stuff. Brett, I trust you'd be getting involved in the first 4 here, given the jackpot money that's on offer. Is it one out Curly James, or are you throwing some more horses in for first?
Oh, look, I think David Miles and I are much like the Hawthorn team we support, in an amazing synergy at the moment. Just everyone travelling to the same goal, and David and I are totally on the same path. Cannot possibly see Curly James being crossed, and I don't think he's the son of gun and will pass it, but I think it will run second. Eva Justice is on Helliver, very good decision maker. She'll go 3 pegs. Really hard to see that not being 1, 2, 3. I know the last time we had one of these races, all the horses came from behind. He's the son of a gun 1 from about the back from District Attorney, but the leader behind leader were both fresh and just didn't finish the race off. That was Terry and Outlaw Man. So I think, considering how the strength of the peg line, it's going to be so hard for anything else to get at least in the top 2. I can't see a non-peg horse being top 2, despite the quality of the race.
So you think Curly James will hold out He's a son of a gun, though, in the sprint.
Is it possible to go further than 100%? Because I will, but yeah.
It is. Well, it's probably not
No, it's not.
by definition. Not by definition. Yeah.
No.
One more with you, Brett. If the emergency gets a run, Jillaby Jack Sparrow. I know it's an if, and you don't know what horse is coming out, but what are your thoughts on Jillaby Jack Sparrow drawn 8?
Yeah, happy with it to run second as it did last week. Once again, I don't think it can pass Curly James. Going fantastic. More favourable trip this week than last week. So, yeah, once again, I don't think my thoughts would change. It just that would make it very hard for He's the Son of a Gun. I'd probably just leave it out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not, could run third or fourth, but
yeah,
not second.
Okay. Interesting race. Jackie, so what? Your drive here going really, really well. We spoke a bit on the phone yesterday about her. She's got gate speed, but it's probably not the race that you'll use it. Talk us through the early stages and what you think your chances are.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky draw 3 for her. I think we'll probably have to go forward at the start to get a spot, and then look for cover. She's going really well. Last week I was really, really happy with her. She hit the line super, but it was sort of pegs, which is where I'd like to be again, but probably not likely. But yeah, I agree. I think the one will lead. Not sure where I'm going to end up, but hopefully somewhere there without doing too much work.
Yeah. I mean, and as you said on the phone the other day, I'm not speaking out of turn, but you've always felt that if you don't use her early, she'll finish off a lot better for you. I mean, that's the case with a lot of horses, but particularly her.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, most horses, if you don't use them early, they're a lot better late. But I do find with her, even though she is a bit more versatile these days, that if you don't use her at the start, she gets home so much stronger at the finish.
Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Good luck with that. That's race 1 on the card. The Tab Lazarus Free for All $10,000 first 4 jackpot. Combining the power of results and horse sectionals with Sulky app, you now have access to gate speed, swooper, ability and behaviour ratings. Never miss a trainer, driver or gear change again. Sulky app is a form guide revolution. She's been a star at 2 and 3. So does Milesy's mare start the campaign with glee. That took me a while to write that one, to make that rhyme, but I think I've done all right there. Race 2, we'll leave you to last here, Milesy. Maybe straight back to you, Jackie. What are your thoughts here on this race? Really, really good event. I haven't got the market in front of me, but the Tab did open it up yesterday, and it's a very wide open market. Who do you think wins this one?
Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. It's going to be a really interesting race. I was really looking forward to David's comments on how he thinks his horse is going to go in Free for All. Obviously she's been sensational so far in her career, and stepping up to that sort of next level is going to be really interesting. But it's also over the short, so that back row draw is going to make things a little bit hard for her. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here. There's a lot of horses going really well.
Throw a dart at the dartboard. Brett, can you help us out at all? It is a great race. Ebony's Avenger drawn down on the inside. Does she lead? Does she hold? Give us some sort of help here in the second.
I'm happy to help. I actually think it's a really narrow race. There's very few chances.
Really?
Yeah, because Ebony's Avenger, Ryan Duffy's down to drive Ebony's Avenger and Courmayeur, so I would be suggesting he'll be driving Courmayeur. So Jordan Leedham will drive Ebony's Avenger, as he has been doing. And I think the way it's been going, he'd be happy to take a sit in this quality. And I think Elderberry and Vera will be the first one there. I don't know if you've realised, but those dairy farmers are absolutely on fire. No, first up was a really good win. He didn't come off the gate because he didn't really have to, but he had plenty left, and she rather. They're all mares, of course. Anyway, I really like this horse, and its last race over this distance beat at Ebony's Avenger by 20 odd metres. So, and as much respect as I have from the back row, if she does get to the front, it's going to take something special to get past her. And I think, to be honest, for David, it's kind of a perfect setup, because he's got one job in this race: sit back, get on the back of Greg Sugars and see what his horse can do. And there's no pressure on him because he's not expected to win from that barrier. If he does, great, but takes the pressure off David a bit.
Yeah, that's nice to hear, David. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love those words. That's great.
No pressure at all. The pressure happens after the race. If you're able to win it, you got to interview yourself.
I think I know what questions are coming, won't I, Todd? That'd be pretty easy.
Give us your thoughts here. You've trialled her up 3 or 4 times. She won her trial this week. Obviously that's a concerted effort to get her ready to rock and roll first up.
Oh, not completely first up. We've got another good race in 2 weeks' time that we've got in mind. And then she heads to Queensland in the first week of July. So we do trial her a hell of a lot. She's not the greatest of track workers, and she's a bit silly at home. So we tend to take her off the property as much as we can. And she had a very, very solid trial 2 weeks ago behind Aldebaran Zeus. He's all muscle. And, another one. Can't think of it off the top
I
of my
can't
head.
think of it either. I know the trial.
Mufasa Metro.
Mufasa Metro, of course it was, yeah. So that's they're all top quality boys. She got a little bit tired the last 50 and made a break, but I was still really happy with her times and the way she pulled up after it. But Monday night she felt so much sharper for that run and drove a lot better. Very tough race. Any race over the 17:20 at Melton, if you're drawn the back line, it's all tempo related. I'm sort of hoping, unlike Brett, that Ebony's Avenger wants to hold the front, which will make it a bit more of an interesting race and give us out the back a bit more of a chance. Elvira last week was just awesome, sitting parked, and the sectional she ran was super, as well as Courmayeur. She ran huge sectionals off the track from well back. So it's our first go at open mares. There's some seasoned mares there, Revelstoke, Courmayeur, that have been racing at free-for-all level for the last couple of seasons. And, of course, Ruby Roo, her and I have had some great battles last season, and she's back to her best. And, as you say, Brett says, I'll just follow Greg, and hopefully he doesn't make a mid-race move and I can just track him late in the race.
Yeah. I'm with She's Ruby Roo. Obviously not declaring her, but I think she's going good. She's probably just obviously got that little bit of edge on you, being up for a bit longer or a bit sooner than you, Milesy. But look, there's not much in this. I mean, Revelstoke was really good there in New South Wales. Ran a really good closing sectionals there. Last time out went 5th. I mean, can you rule a line through many? Not really. One I was probably happy to take on. I just reckon there's probably a bit too much. She's a Wish. I thought she's been good this preparation without being outstanding. What are your thoughts there, Brett, just before we go to the third question?
I actually think she's going really good, but I'm not. And she's probably the only one I think can cross.
She fly over?
Vera.
Yeah.
So she's definitely a chance if she can do that. That's probably chips in decision at the start, I would imagine. But I think it's going pretty good, but I don't think it could hold off. She's Ruby Roo. It'll have to burn too hard to get to the front and then hold off, these quality. I don't think it could win.
Yeah. Great race. Race 2, the Carlotta's Pride Trotters Free-for-All, Saturday night, 5:43 p.m. Logical Staffing Solutions provide labour hire and recruitment services to the transport, warehousing, automotive and manufacturing industries. The logical solution for your staffing needs. The Muscles last prep was great, but first up, will he be the punter's mate? Miles, you referenced this horse just before in a trial, and we're talking about He's All Muscle, race 6, number 5 in the Aldebaran Park Trot. We've got no one involved in this race, so we can go wherever we want. I might go to you, Jackie. You know these horses quite well. We've seen plenty of them. Hephaestus Phoenix looks like a horse that'll press forward. Mercenary's a really nice horse for the Barkers. Love Gun, a good winner 2 starts ago. Loxley Lover, a Group 1 winner. The Locomotive, a Group 1 winner multiple times, returns. And Harry Stamper, who has won at the elite level, but just hasn't been at his best in the 2 runs this campaign. A really good race, but He's All Muscle. He was really competitive through the Great Southern Star Series. How do you see this race?
Yeah, I think he's probably the one to beat. Even though he's first up, I don't think that's sort of any worry. They always have their horses ready to go when they hit the races. And I probably like him better over the short distance, but he's proven that he can race at the top level successfully. So I'm sure they'll have him spot on and ready to go. But there's a lot of quality horses in that race as well. So it just depends, I think, what happens early and how much work he has to do if he wants to lead. But yeah, definitely the one to beat there, I think.
Milesy, he's on Muscle. You saw him up close and personal. Is he the one to beat here?
I think he is. He trialled very good. He trucked behind me, nice and strong, came off my back. And we went good time. We went 55 for the short at the trials. I'm not a very quick night either. And he really did hit the line under a good hold. He didn't show a lot of gate speed that night. Now, I know he has got a bit, but I agree with Jackie. I think he is a little bit better over the short. But, you know, you're sort of banking on Harry Stamper getting back to his best and Locomotive first up, who they've been happy to sit on the fence a couple of times in his career. So I just think the race sort of sets up first up for He's All Muscle to really, you know, find the top and dictate the race. And I think he's the safe bet.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think, Brett, we'll go to you now. And we've spoke over a couple of text messages in the last hour or so. But, I mean, I still think He's On Muscle can win parked or wherever he wants to be. But if he glides to the front and Chris Finazio is happy to hand up with Hephaestus Phoenix, I'd be very surprised if he got beat. How do you see this panning out?
Yeah, I think Hephaestus Phoenix is definitely the first one of the pegs. He did run in similar grade 2 runs ago and had every chance and didn't really finish it off against 1 overall and Olivici. You'd have to say this is pretty similar. Surprising none of these horses are 100 raters yet. They will be soon, of course. So, yeah, I'd probably lean, hard to know. Obviously, drivers are entitled to make up their mind on the day. But you'd think, considering Hephaestus Phoenix run 2 runs ago when he led, you'd probably be happy to sit behind a horse like He's On Muscle, which is going to get you all the way to the lane. And He's On Muscle's only loss when leading was in the Great Southern Star final when it still ran 4th in 153. So, yeah, it did look awesome at the trial, didn't it? So, and their horses generally benefit between their last trial and their first run. But I do respect the Locomotive. He's one of those horses that you can never write off. He's a talent. His last trial was really good. Harry Stamper gets James Herbertson back on, which I think is a massive plus because his runs have been good. He's just been misbehaving, and I'm just putting it down to the fact that his trainer was driving him, not because of his ability as a driver, just as David and Jackie would know, sometimes when their own trainers drive them, the horses don't really know that they're there for a good reason, so they play up a bit. That's all I'm putting it down to. I don't think it generally plays up like that.
Yeah. Look, yeah, I'm pretty keen on He's On Muscle. I just think, I don't think any other horse could have, in this field, could have probably produced what he did through that Great Southern Star Series. I mean, a second in a heat. And then what did he run in the final? Was it 4th? Yeah, I mean, I think he can win from wherever, but I do think he will find the front, and I think from there, it's just about game over. One thing it does worry me, Brett, that trial has already brought me undone. That Aldebaran Zeus trial, I made him best bet last week, and he wasn't on his best behaviour. So I'm going to go back to the well with that trial. Either He's On Muscle wins or Miles, he can get it done for us. That'd do. But yeah, pretty keen on He's On Muscle there, race 6. Let's go to the 4th and final question. It is, will the top raters dominate the 3rd, or should we look at other parts of the herd? We're talking about the Allied Express race, 3rd leg of the early quaddie and 3rd race on the card, 10 minutes past 6. Jackie Barker's got a drive here, Final Collect. She was down for probably half the field at one stage, Jackie, but you ended up with Final Collect. We'll hold you till last. Back to you, Brett. What do you think of this race? I think plenty of winning chances.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think there's very many chances at all.
You're gonna get this card one out, I reckon.
Oh, it's too easy, this caper, isn't it? Yeah. No, seriously, these races are fascinating because the horses who don't get a run in the main free for all, they get to go in this race, even though it's a 77 to 89. So it's actually amazing that our free for all ranks are so thick that they can get a flow over horses from them, because it wasn't that long ago we were getting 6 horse free for alls and they were just terrible spectacles. So it's good for the card to have this quality of horses that, managed to sneak into this race. But I think I'm going to go for one that ran in the free-for-all last week, and Tim picked it. You bet your tiger pie. Because I think the horses who are all drawn on his inside, there's a bit of speed, but I'm pretty sure they'll all be happy to hand up to Michael Stanley, knowing that Michael Stanley will not be handing up. So, and I think it went absolutely sensational last week. Totally luckless. So, phenomenal effort for its first run in high grade. So, I think it's the one to beat. As much as I respect Ideal Escape, I really respect it. But outside second row, 22.40, never easy. So, I'm pretty keen on You Bet Your Tiger Pie.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was actually really, when you watch the race the first time on a Saturday night, I don't think you take it all in. And I went back and watched it today. He was actually outstanding. I was really disappointed initially, but then he basically galloped at the start. He had no luck, and he was climbing over their heels, and his prior runs were just off the charts. He's a very progressive horse. I'm pretty keen on him too. So You Bet Your Tiger Pie, Milesy. Are we being a bit disrespectful to some of these class horses off the back row? How do you see it?
I totally agree with you guys. That one of You Bet Your Tiger Pies last week was luckless, and he obviously made that little hiccup early, which I don't think he will this week. I just think he finds the front and he wins. I think, with anywhere over $3 is a good bet, I would have thought. I just think he's the class horse in the race, in form. All the other class horses are out of form, or they've drawn bad barriers. But probably the only little smoky I would give a chance to, if he got a great run, was Kowalski Analysis. We know he's an unbelievable talent. We know of all the history that's gone through that horse and the troubles they've had, but I think he's probably the only other one. And if the first of Moonshee got to run Crime Rider and got back to his best, snuck away on the fence, I think he would be a chance, but he's got to get a run, obviously. But I just think that You Bet Your Tiger Pie is got a fair bit on these, and I think he will find the top and be winning.
Yeah.
Jackie, did you knock the drive back on Kowalski, or?
Well, I can only drive one.
Yeah.
Dave was really good. He sort of just messaged me straight away and said, look, I see you've got a few other drives there you drive all the time, so I can just grab one of the boys. So, yeah, it was good of him.
Yeah. You were down for Radius, Final Collect and Kowalski Analysis yesterday, Jackie. You left Final Collect's the last one standing, so you're driving that horse for Leilani Justice. Gets back into a winnable grade now, but I've watched a couple of his most recent runs. He doesn't scream to me that he's absolutely flying, but he's definitely good enough in this grade.
Yeah, he sort of dropped back from free-for-all level there a few starts ago, and I was expecting him to be performing a bit better his last couple, but he just hasn't been handling the last turn very good. Hoping that the team's made a couple of gear adjustments this week and he gets around that last corner better, because he's been travelling super in the run. But yeah, as soon as I've pulled out in that last 400, he just hasn't been steering real good. So hopefully we'll see an improved run this week. I do think if he was at his best, he'd definitely be a chance in this race for sure. But it's just a little bit unknown at the moment as to how he's going to go.
Yeah. And your old mate Radius drawn inside you. Of all the other horses, I mean, you wouldn't be absolutely devastated to see him win, would you?
I actually love that horse so much.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's an old ripper, and the pegs will be good for him. He'll get a nice cheap run along there, and as we saw a few weeks ago, he was 3 fence and finished like an absolute steam train. So, if he doesn't get shuffled too far back, I expect him to be getting home really good at the finish as well.
Yeah. Before we move on to best bets, Jackie, just a quick word on your other drives on the night. Race 4, number 1, Netra for Leilani Justice as well.
Yeah, this filly's actually a really nice filly. I don't know that she's completely figured it out yet. She's still a little bit green and sort of switches on and off a little bit in her races at times, but this is also a really good race, so I'm very glad that we drew one. I don't think she's gonna be too far away though. I think she's definitely up to running the times. It'll just be sort of where we end up, and hopefully we're following the right ones.
Another peg line draw for your other drive, race 5, number 8, Stylish Gem for Gary Living.
Yeah, that draw suits her down to the ground, I think. Nice soft run along the pegs, and she's going really well too, so I expect her to be getting home well at the finish.
Yeah, good stuff. Great wrap there. Let's go to the Sharps Bakery best bets. I'm not sure if we've had you on Jackie and Milesy, since Sharp's Bakery jumped on board a sponsor. I know you're a big fan of the Birchip meeting. Have you tried the vanilla slices out there at Sharp's Bakery, though?
No, I haven't had the pleasure. I don't get up that way too often, but I know Sharpie's has a reputation via Twitter where they do promote it, so it must be very good.
Yeah. What about you, Jackie? You would have tried them?
Yeah, I absolutely have. I'm actually very lucky because Stylish Gems owners, and they always bring me one sometimes from Birchip, so that's where they're from, and they sometimes bring me one, so I'm very lucky. I've got to try them a couple of times now.
No, Paul Lowry sent me a message on Twitter during last week that he's going to share the love, so I'm looking forward to sampling them myself. Jackie, best bet, have you got one for us on Saturday night at Melton?
I didn't go Saturday night. I actually went tonight because I haven't got that far down the track, but I'm going to go each way Ua Lister tonight. He's been really unlucky, keeps getting knocked over or bad draws, and Barry won tonight. He gets his chance to be back in the money, so I'm putting my faith in myself, which is probably silly, but I'm going to back it in.
Good stuff. Ua Lister, bring the market up. Race 3 tonight. Number 1 for Jackie Barker, $11.230. Good stuff. So we'll I better make sure I get that up online, or this clip up online before that happens, because the punters would never forgive me if Ua Lister gets up and we haven't uploaded it. Brett, which way are you playing on Saturday night? You may as well just tip us all 10. How confident you are.
I'll just stick to one. I'll be happy to get one. But I do like Melton meeting tonight as well, but I'll just stick to Saturday night. But, back to Jackie's tip. I've been following that horse and it's been attracting my attention. It's just looking for the right race, and she's definitely a chance tonight. I'm just going to keep it pretty simple on Saturday night and go race 1, number one position, pole position, Curly James. Let's just get it over with. Yeah.
1-1-1, and that'll be a huge start to your TrotsVision career, Brett, if you can go bang there. What was the one that you tipped last time on Burning Questions? La Belle Bijou.
That's pretty funny. La Belle Bijou. I was driving my son somewhere. I didn't have the audio on. I got this message from you. It was a 4-letter word. That's all it was. And I didn't know the result or anything, but I had a feeling it wasn't good.
Yeah, apologies for that. Beaten that far. Very good tip. It got out to $6 or $7 too, just to rub salt into the wounds. Milesy, what do you got for us here on Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm going to make it pretty simple too. We've already spoken about it, but you betcha Tiger Pie. So for those early quaddie punters, I think it'll be 1 field, 6 field. And I reckon that's not a bad early quaddie Saturday night.
Okay, good play. And if you're a Brett Carroll follower, you go
1, 2,
6 field.
Yeah, probably.
Or 7. Some American.
No, yeah, some American. Just go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've got it all sorted. Great show, guys. Really appreciate you jumping in, Jackie. Good luck tonight.
Tim, what about your best bet?
Oh yeah, I did this last week, didn't I? Worked out well because it was beaten. This time around, we are going with race 6, number 5. He's All Muscle. We might get close to $2. That'll do me. So I'm trusting that trial form again. Race 6, number 5. He's All Muscle, but also very keen. I'll throw another vote in the camp of You Betcha Tiger Pie, and that's going to be at a much better price. Great card of racing. Jackie, if you can get Ua Lister up tonight, you can host this show next week. Thanks for joining us.
Here we go.
No worries, no pressure.
That's enough to pull it up.
It has happened before. The Andy Gath show, it was turned into one episode there when Andy tipped a double-figure winner. Thanks, Jackie. Safe travels. Brett, thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, David Miles. We'll look forward to your contributions both on the track and off it on Saturday night.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. That's been Burning Questions. We're back with another episode next week. Tune into trotsvision.com.au on Saturday night for all the coverage.